Hey there, welcome. If you've ever wrestled with brittle workflows, you'll love this. Unmeshed gives our user detailed monitoring when you need it, the ability to scale without limits, and reliable operations that just work. Let's jump in. Unmeshed can execute processes that are comprised of many different steps. A lot of the logic that you want to run can be achieved through the standard steps that are offered by the Unmeshed platform. This includes steps like HTTP or even code that you can write using scripting languages such as JavaScript or Python. A lot of the functionality can be implemented natively within Unmeshed platforms. But then there are situations where you need to run some code base that is running within your ecosystem that cannot be exposed as an API endpoint. But you still want to run it as part of the workflow. This is where a worker can come and help you. This is a sample workflow definition where we have two standard steps that are offered by the Unmeshed platform. And then there is a worker that is going to be some function that you've written in your code base that is also connected to the same process definition. This particular worker implementation can be running in any cloud, any instance. As long as it's able to talk to Unmeshed servers, you should be able to connect it. Here we've created an application called a transfer cache app, which is nothing but a name for a client. When you create a client, it gives you a credential, which is an ID and a token. And using this ID and token, you can authenticate yourself on the corresponding app that you've created. Now, using this credential, you can connect your code base from wherever you're running it to an Unmeshed instance, and then run the functions when it is ready to be executed, matching by the name that you've given. So, let's go back to the balanced transfer definition here, and we are running this using the name transfer cache. Let's take a look at how this is implemented in Java. And it's as simple as annotating the function with worker method and the name. We have similar SDKs available in other languages as well. Here, the input will be passed based on what the worker input is. And the output that your worker produces is then sent back to the process definition. So here I'm running a process definition that includes a worker, and it ran that particular worker instance using the code that I just described. And what we saw as output is the original input that was passed in, as well as 3 additional variables that we set as part of our output. So now you've seen how you can write your own code for complex situations where you do not have the flexibility of exposing it as an endpoint, and you can still connect to Unmeshed through our SDKs or through direct API integration. The mapping is through the names, and the credentials are through the application client ID and token, as you saw earlier. And that wraps up today's demo. With Unmeshed, your workflow runs smarter and scales effortlessly. Want to keep learning? Head over to our docs for deeper dives or subscribe for upcoming videos. Until next time, happy orchestrating!